The Oklahoma City Thunder just made headlines, and not just because of another dominant win. Nope, this time it's because they did something that has the entire league buzzing. They benched their entire starting lineup in a game against the Portland Trail Blazers. And now the NBA is stepping in to investigate. Was this just smart load management? A strategic move to rest their stars before the playoffs? Or did OKC just push the league's player participation policy to its absolute limits? There's a fine line between keeping players fresh and outright dodging the rules, and the NBA isn't taking this lightly. So, what really went down? Let's break it all down. Friday night, the Thunder took on the Trail Blazers, and on paper it looked like this should have been an easy win for OKC. But here's where things get crazy. The team's 5 main starters completely out. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Nope. Jalen Williams? Sitting. Luguentz Dort? Out. Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso also not playing. That's the entire core of this team benched. So, who did OKC roll out instead? A lineup of role players, backups, and young guys who, to be honest, had a lot to prove, and yet, despite missing their stars, the Thunder barely even broke a sweat. They cruised to a dominant 107-89 victory, handling business as if nothing was out of the ordinary. Now, here's the thing, this isn't just about OKC getting an easy win. This move immediately caught the attention of the league office. Why? Because under the NBA's new player participation policy, teams are supposed to make their best players available for national TV games and avoid resting multiple stars at the same time. And let's be real, sitting your entire starting 5, that's bound to raise some eyebrows. So was this a case of OKC simply managing their players wisely, or did they just find a loophole that could shake up the league's stance on load management? Let's dive deeper into what this means for the Thunder, the league, and a potential fallout from the NBA's investigation. Now, if you're thinking, wait, don't teams rest players all the time? You'd be absolutely right. Load management has been a thing in the NBA for years, especially for teams making deep playoff runs. But here's the problem, this isn't just any random game in the middle of the season. The NBA introduced stricter rules against load management just last year, and those rules are specifically designed to stop teams from pulling moves like this. Under the new player participation policy, teams cannot rest multiple stars during nationally televised games or in-season tournament matchups. The league is also cracking down on teams sitting healthy players without a legitimate reason, especially when fans have paid good money expecting to see their favorite stars. And it's not just about game integrity, it's about awards too. Players must play at least 65 games to qualify for MVP, All-NBA, and other major awards. That rule was meant to encourage top players to suit up more often instead of taking extended breaks. But the Thunder, they basically benched an entire starting lineup, and that's bound to get Adam Silver's attention. The NBA isn't just letting this slide. They've officially opened an investigation into OKC's decision, and if they find this was a blatant attempt to skirt the rules, the team could be looking at fines or even policy changes down the road. But that brings us to the real question. Was this actually justified? So what's OKC's defense? What's their excuse for sitting every starter? Well, they're pointing to a brutal schedule as the main reason. The Thunder had just finished a stretch of back-to-back games, faced the Denver Nuggets twice, and were staring down another back-to-back against the Pistons and Bucks. That's a grueling run of games right before the playoffs, and OKC is arguing that their guys needed a break before the postseason grind. And to be fair, they basically locked up the No. 1 seed in the Western Conference, so why not give their stars some much-needed rest? But here's where things get interesting and where OKC's explanation starts to sound a little sketchy. This wouldn't be the first time a team got in trouble for benching players under suspicious circumstances. The NBA has cracked down hard on teams trying to game the system, whether it's for draft positioning, load management, or just bending the rules in their favor. Remember the Dallas Mavericks in 2023? They made headlines for benching key players late in the season, seemingly to improve their draft lottery odds. The NBA wasn't having it. They slapped Dallas with a massive $750,000 fine, making it clear that tanking disguised as resting was unacceptable. And it's not just them. This season alone, the league has already investigated the Philadelphia 76ers over questionable absences for Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. The NBA is watching closely when it comes to teams resting multiple stars, and OKC's move to bench an entire starting five is definitely raising eyebrows. So the big question is, will the Thunder be the next team to get hit with a major penalty? As expected, fans are split right down the middle on this one. Some see this as a smart move, arguing that OKC has already earned the right to rest. After all, it's been a long season, and with the no one seed practically locked in, why risk injuries before the playoffs? But on the other side, plenty of fans are outraged, saying this kind of move kills the integrity of the game. Fans pay good money expecting to see superstars like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams, not a lineup of backups. And with how strict the NBA's new rules are, many believe OKC should absolutely be fined for breaking the policy. So what do you think? Should the NBA punish the Thunder for this, or were they just being smart and strategic? Drop a comment below, because this debate isn't going away anytime soon. This is a big controversy, and it's not over yet. If the NBA decides to come down hard on OKC, it could set a major precedent for how teams handle their stars moving forward. Could this change the way franchises approach load management? Will the league hand out a massive fine or let it slide? Either way, we're in for some drama, so if you don't want to miss any updates, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay locked in for more NBA news and analysis. And don't forget, let me know your take in the comments. Should OKC face the consequences, or was this just a smart move by a team thinking about the bigger picture? Let's hear it, and don't forget to like this video too. Peace.